Well, beloved, how good the Lord is, and it is my joy to be with you yet another time. I would have you, if you would, to join me in a passage of Scripture. That passage can be found in the Gospel of Matthew, the 17th chapter, beginning with verse number 18. And thusly it reads, "And Jesus rebuked the demon, and it came out of him, and he was cured the very hour. The disciples came to Jesus privately and say, 'Why couldn't we cast him out?' So Jesus said to them, 'Because of your faith, your unbelief. For surely I say to you that if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you will be able to say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you.'" That is the reading of Scripture. Beloved, in the season of unrest and protest and uprising of Americans, particularly the African Americans, regarding the failure of the United States of America to deliver on the promise of all men being created equally and treated equally by the institutions that govern us, we run the risk of concluding that equality will never be had and will never come for people of color. Equality has been elusive and uneven for black people, and a place of the discrepancy that can be readily viewed is the legal system and policing all around this country. The death of George Floyd, caused by police choking the very life out of him with a knee to his neck, handcuffed, while three other police at some level aid and assist the officer, and at the very least they watched and attempted to render no aid. This has rekindled an old familiar cry for justice and for redress in America. Visual recordings again have afforded us and the rest of the world to view what black folks have been experiencing for centuries in private, and that is the oppression by individuals, by institutions, and by systems. It is as pervasive today as it was generations ago, just hidden in dark corners of our city and our towns. Americans and the world have the benefit of observing this evil on television. And as before, the hope is to arouse the sympathies of people of conscience and demand justice for all. Brothers and sisters, why is it that America and Americans continue to act as if these are new developments? Why is it that particularly African Americans muster up resiliency and believe that eventually the country will provide for them the same rights that exist on paper for white people in our founding documents like the Constitution, of the United States of America, the amendments to the constitutions, the bills of rights. Why is it? I would submit to you it is because black people have what I have come to call mustard seed faith. We actually believe in America. The words of Jesus in the Holy Bible reinforces as well our collective belief that things can change. The words of Jesus are, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, you can speak to the mountain and it will move. In essence, these words have convinced black folk historically that a little faith is sufficient to reap monumental results. Without fully exegeting the text, Jesus is encouraging hearers to plant, to believe, to continue the journey toward progress, and to move toward change. Mustard seed faith. Mustard seeds are very small in size, yet these little seeds produce trees that grow both wide and tall eventually. Mustard seeds grow best in hot and arid climates. They're not native plants to Palestine, where Jesus is speaking. In fact, they are indigenous plants to Persia or to Iran. But a certain optimism is the only thing that can explain why it is the African American community continues to appeal before the country for justice. This hopeful theology can be traced and heard in the Negro national anthem. You remember it, Lift Every Voice and Sing, written by James Weldon Johnson. Particularly the second stanza of that hymn says this: stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod felt in the day that hope unborn had died. Yet with a steady beat have not our wearied feet come to the place where which our fathers sighed. We have come over the way with tears has been watered. We have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughter, but out of the gloomy pass, till we stand at last where the white gleam of our star is cast. That's hope, y'all. That is hope, expecting change, and it is precisely what African Americans do in continuously pleading for justice. However, my caution and my warning is there has arisen a generation who do not know nor believe that deferred hope should be something that eludes the community forever. Black lives matter, and if they are not treated fairly, the words of the Constitution, the amendments, the Bill of Rights, nor the teaching of Jesus in Scripture will satisfy the impatience, and the pleading will be replaced by demands and maybe even the shedding of blood. You hear the cry, no justice, no peace. I would submit that we should respond in such a way where faith in the ability of the heart of man is possible. So a worse alternative is not required and the chosen option for redress. The disciples said, we came, we tried. The man said, I brought my son to them, your followers. They were not able to help. Jesus says that faith the size of a mustard seed is what is needed in order to get a different and a better result. This country should pray that African Americans continue to believe that, because on the very day that the majority of us continue to not believe that, this country will see anarchy and blood flow in its street. That is not what any of us need or want. So I would hope that the fan will continue to blow on the embers of possibility and faith of that which should come, must come, will come, and that is the justice and righteousness and godliness will reign, and that wickedness and oppression and injustice will be placed under our feet. Well, that's my belief and my prayer. I hope you stand with me in that regard, and we can see justice and fairness and equality for all, because we really are created the Imago Dei in the image of God, and all of us should bear the blessings and the benefit of what it means to be human without it ever being questioned or denied because of the color of our skin. Amen. Salah and amen.